Well, all farmers know the impact extreme temperatures can have on crops during the growing season. And the UNL Center for Plant Science Innovation is working toward developing crops with greater resistance to climate extremes. Professor Rebecca Roston joins us now for an update on her research with resistance to cold temperatures. Appreciate your time, Rebecca. Could you begin by telling us a little bit about why cold temps can be so devastating to crops?
Yeah, of course. So the cold is an incredible force, as of course we can appreciate. But humans domesticated crops a long time ago when we lived in warm regions, and then we took them with us to cold regions, and they're just unprepared, unadapted for that level of change.
Talk about some of the examples and those characteristics that you are talking about.
Sure. So I'm going to give you an example from the animal world. Compare the difference between a chicken and a penguin. So penguins are well adapted to their native environment, and that's because of the millions of years that they've had to adapt to that, whereas the chicken is not. Similarly, our crops that we grow in these cold regions come from the warmer regions, and they don't have the ability to store their energy over winter in their roots and to come back like we see grasses doing. Instead, many of our most important agricultural grasses, like maize, invest instead in their above ground structures that we enjoy, but then have to come back year after year.
Talk a little bit more about your research and how you hope it will help farmers, not just in Nebraska, but, all across the country.
Absolutely. So I'm part of a huge team, and what we're trying to do is trying to understand the molecular basis of the things that are happening in the cold so that we can improve the outcomes for the crops that we do care about, that we have invested in as humans. And so some of the things that we do are try to understand the flexibility of the crop, how it's storing its energy, where it's storing its energy, how it's maintaining itself during the cold, because this is something that some plants do very well and other plants do very poorly. And so we make comparisons between the plants that do it very well and the plants that do it more poorly, but we care about. And so combining those approaches is the key to engineering a crop that can be more resilient.
So that information that you are gathering, how do we get that from that paper and that research to be able to help the farmer there and the crops in the field during those cold temps?
Absolutely. That's a learn, test, build cycle. Everything in engineering, you have the learning, right, which is where I'm at, and then we test it. And then we build the better crop.
Yeah, we look forward to how that's going to be used. We appreciate all your effort. That's Rebecca Roston with the UNL Center for Plant Science Innovation. Thank you so much for your time.